Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Allianz Arena in Munich for the last game in round 2 of the new championship. The visitors are Stuttgart, and that young man, Javi Martinez, is the one all eyes will be on this afternoon. He's on the bench for Bayern, the new signing. 40 million euros Bayern shelled out to Athletic Bilbao for him. That is the biggest transfer fee in the history of the Bundesliga. Will Martinez put in an appearance? That's all up to coach Jupp Heynckes. The stadium packed to the rafters, 71,000 in here. The Allianz Arena capacity increased by 2,000 over the summer. Let's look at the two lineups. Coach Jupp Heynckes for Bayern Munich has made a couple of changes. Lahm, Boateng, Dante and Bartstuber at left-back and the back four. Schweinsteiger returns to the side alongside Gustavo in a holding role. No Arjen Robben. Toni Kroos in the number 10 position, flanked by Müller and Ribéry. Up front, Mandzukic, the lone striker. The opposition, Stuttgart, their coach Bruno Labbadia, who, of course, between 91 and 94, played for Bayern and won the title in his final season. He, too, makes just a couple of changes from last week's side that lost at home to Wolfsburg. Sakai comes in at right-back, alongside Tashki, Mars and Burka. Kvist and Gentner are the holding players. Harnik, Heinau and another new face, Shinji Okazaki, the lone striker, is Ibisevic on the bench. Lots of quality for Bayern. Stuttgart, Tunay Torun and Kakao, the German international striker. Bastian Schweinsteiger, who's been something of a controversial figure, not because of anything he's done, but because of the massive list of injuries he's racked up over the last 8 months or so. But he seems to be fit. Won't be in contention for Germany against the Faroe Islands later this week, though. So Stuttgart, the visitors in the basically white strip, playing from left to right in your picture. My name's Alan Fount, and I'll be with you for the next 90 minutes or so. It's been a good start to the season for Bayern. They won the Super Cup against Borussia Dortmund, the league champions and cup holders, by 2-1 in this very stadium. In the first round of the cup, they had no problem disposing of Regensburg, another Bavarian side, but in Division 2 by 4-0. And, of course, last week, Bayern victorious once again. It's a good opener for Bayern, 3-0 against second division champions Fürth. Offside given against Osaka. Dante, signing from Mönchengladbach. Bayern have been spending in the close season 67 million. The sum, not quite a record for them. They once forked out over 70, but still, it's a financial dimension that most of the Bundesliga clubs can only marvel at. And that includes Stuttgart, who've not been active at all in the transfer market. Tim Haugland did come from Schalke, Tunay Torun on a free from Hertha Berlin, and Daniel Didavi, who sadly is injured, returned from on loan to Nuremberg. But for Stuttgart, it was not a case of putting their hands in their pockets. Gentner caught offside. Manuel Neuer, the goalkeeper for Bayern, he was a big money signing at the start of last season, coming from Schalke for in excess of 20 million. Was a Bayern player on the ground still. Mandzukic injured in that aerial clash with Tasja, getting the German international's head on the back of his. If you notice, the Stuttgart captain, Tasja, he is wearing a brace on his arm. What a chance! Oh, off the bar, what a glorious opportunity! Martin Harnik, Austrian international, weaves inside Boateng. And most of the Stuttgart fans saw that one nestling in the back of the net. It beat Neuer, all ends up, but came back to the relief of the Bayern supporters off the crossbar. Tamás Hajnal, Hungarian international. Neuer punches clear. Well, that will have given Stuttgart some heart, because their record here in the Allianz Arena, indeed in Munich as a whole, the Allianz Arena has only been open since 2005. But Stuttgart's performances, just 5 wins here. 45 visits to Munich, and Stuttgart have won only 5 times. 1 win, that's all, in their last 12 visits. That was a couple of years ago when they won by 2-1. So from a Stuttgart point of view, it can only get better. Boateng, he really was embarrassed for speed as Harnik came inside, and that is one of the big criticisms that are levelled at Jerome Boateng. Might be good in the air, but on the ground he is certainly not the fastest central defender you'll see. He doesn't like playing fullback, where he sometimes has to stand in, and I think that is mainly because of his lack of genuine pace. Sakai. The referee's assistant had a good look at that challenge from Batstuber, played the ball, he says. Oh, Luis Gustavo caught ball watching. And Okazaki bringing him down. A bit of luck there for Bayern. The indications are that when Javi Martinez comes into the side for Bayern, that was a hard challenge by Batstuber, but a fair one. When Martinez comes into the side for Bayern, it will be Luis Gustavo who will have to make way for him. He's a big man, Martinez, stands 1.90 m. That is why Bilbao sometimes had him playing in central defence. But he doesn't like that. He prefers to play in a holding role in front of the back four. It's a good ball inside to Ribéry. Cross wide to Müller. Schweinsteiger. Mandzukic. 4 goals for him already this season. And he is standing in for Mario Gomez, who had an operation and will be out for a couple of weeks still to come. Of course, the big question is, it's got a huge question mark over it. Will Mario Gomez, second leading goal scorer last season behind Klaas Huntelaar, if Mandzukic is in such a rich vein of form, will Gomez come straight back into the side? That's a nice problem for Jupp Heynckes to have. Corner kick Bayern Robin on the left of your picture, not looking too happy. Injury keeping him out today. But injury is something that has dogged Robin throughout his career. That's a weak corner kick taken by Holger Badstuber. Luis Gustavo. He cost the princely sum of 17 million. And of course, if he's found not good enough and is going to be replaced by Martinez, then the question is raised of how come Bayern shelled out such a titanic sum for a player that they were going to consider not good enough only a couple of seasons later. Not even 2 seasons, actually. January 2011, Gustavo came. Maza back to Boca, to Tasja. Kvist to Japanese right back Sakai, back to Tasja. There you can clearly see the bandaging on Tasja's right hand. He broke a bone in his hand, and he's had a plastic guard made for it. It's well wrapped. The referee has approved it, so there's no danger to any of the opposition. Ribéry doing a quick spot of gardening. Sven Ulreich, the goalkeeper for Stuttgart. Mandzukic in the middle. Well, that's a good cross, and Ulreich committing himself, punches it out, but only as far as Boateng. And Ulreich takes well. Stuttgart disappointed their fans last week in the season opener against Wolfsburg. Ibisevic missed a penalty. You can see what happened if you log on to YouTube. The goalkeeper, Diego Bernalillo for Wolfsburg, parried the penalty. The ball came out to Ibisevic with the goalkeeper on the ground, and somehow he missed an open goal. Wolfsburg went down to the other end, and Bastos headed the winner. So it was a 1-0 home defeat for Stuttgart last week. Over the last couple of years, it's almost been tradition for Stuttgart to start poorly in the first half of the season and get their act together and have a brilliant second half. Harnik's offside. Opted to play for the Austrian national side, even though he was born in Hamburg. 30 caps he's got for Austria. A miss by Boca. Müller free. Mandzukic in the middle. Kroos, not the best of passes. The ball was behind him. Lahm wide again to Müller. The block by Maza. Philipp Lahm. Good interception by Kvist, an intelligent player, but he's behind again. Not the most powerful of shots, no problem at all for Sven Ulreich. Kroos lines himself up, but the ball bounces and bobbles slowly towards the Stuttgart goalkeeper. Loose pass in midfield from Heinal. Ribéry. Kroos. Gustavo. Stuttgart pulling everyone back in defence except Ibisevic. But Stuber filling in again at left-back. It's not his position, but the two standard left-backs in Bayern are injured. Munich bringing down Ribéry. It was a rather agricultural challenge from Martin Harnik. Referee Kinhofer deciding that a quiet word with the Austrian international is quite sufficient. Kroos with the free kick. It's from this position that Bayern have scored so many goals in the past. The tall figure of Boateng is up there. That was a good cross from Kroos, and Schweinsteiger couldn't quite climb high enough. Not the biggest player on the park by any stretch of the imagination. The two players who would normally play fullback, I mentioned a moment ago, are of course David Alaba, who was voted the young player of the season. A young man from Vienna, Austrian international, and undoubtedly one of the stars of the Bundesliga scene. He was brilliant at left-back last season for Bayern, but Alaba's got a stress fracture of the leg, and interestingly enough, so has Diego Contento, the other player who would normally step in at left-back. He's got a hairline fracture of the foot. And so there is another possibility that Emre Can, a young man who's also regarded very highly here in Munich, that he could have played again at left-back. He has played a few times for Bayern. And Emre Can is actually on the bench, but still only 18 years of age. Kroos. Schweinsteiger's got space, and so has Müller on the right. Not the best of crosses. Firm tackle from Dante. He's expected to be a regular in central defence for Bayern, purchased from Borussia Mönchengladbach for just under 5 million in the close season. Dante moving to Munich because he sees himself as possibly being in the Brazilian national side at the next World Cup in his home country. Okazaki wanted it. A wild pass, though, from the Ivorian left-back. Kroos. Not the pass Ribéry wanted. Throw-in taken by Gotoku Sakai. He's got a German mother, interestingly enough. Plays for the Japanese under-23 national side. Schweinsteiger. Philipp Lahm clearly not impressed with that pass from Schweinsteiger. Jupp Heynckes on the right. The man with the bottle is Matthias Sammer, who was in charge of youth development with the German Football Association, but He was asked by Bayern to come down here and maybe, I think, to put it mildly, tighten things up a bit. Sommer, an out-and-out winner, and it's something he wished to instill in the Bayern side. Not as though Bayern have been devoid of success in recent years. Ribéry trying to go around Tascher. Stuber, Mandzukic. Harnik back in defence. In addition to Martinez and Dante, in the close season, Bayern also bought a young man who's thought very highly of in Swiss circles, Xherdan Shaqiri, and he is on the bench. That he was purchased from Basel. Another big money by Shaqiri, who's still only 19 years of age, cost nearly 12 million euros. Lahm going down in the box. The Bayern fans, of course, howling for a penalty. No way. That could be a card. Silly foul. And quite rightly, first card of the late afternoon. Gentner actually fouling his former teammate, because Philipp Lahm cut his teeth with Stuttgart. Not a lot of people remember that before going to Bayern he was with Stuttgart. Spent 2 years there and played on the same side as Gentner, who just chopped him down. Gustavo knows that the pressure is on him with the arrival of Javier Martinez. So we can expect a good game from Luis Gustavo this afternoon. Boca getting stuck in on Müller, but it's Boateng comes away. Maza. Booker. Okazaki none too happy with that challenge from Philipp Lahm. Booker. Dante, wide to Stuber. Dante. Boateng wide to Lahm. Stuttgart defensively keeping their shape very well indeed. We're midway through the first half. Still Bayern 0, Stuttgart 0. Mandzukic laying it off to Müller. Kroos, that's a good pass back to Kroos. I don't think Kroos was expecting it. Oh, what a shot! Brilliant effort coming in from the man with the question mark over his place in the Bayern side, Luis Gustavo. It was a bit of a lucky rebound, but a tremendous effort from the Brazilian. That one had Sven Ulreich beaten all ends up. Okazaki. Schweinsteiger penalised. Boateng's down. Ibisevic climbs to his feet. It's a fair challenge by Boateng, but it looks like he injured himself. Here's the shot from Luis Gustavo. Just nicked the foot of the left-hand post of Ulreich's goal. Boateng requiring attention on the touchline. Oh, what a goal! What an absolutely brilliant strike from Martin Harnik. Stuttgart take the lead. What a beauty! Volley! Neuer beaten completely. Jupp Heynckes. Well, that is not what the Bayern coach looked for. 25 minutes gone, and it's the opposition who get the first goal. Did Neuer get anything on it? Harnik taking it first time in the air. Absolutely brilliant. There aren't many Stuttgart fans in the arena, probably about 6,000, but you can certainly hear them now. This is billed as something of a South German derby. The two cities maybe 200 kilometers apart though. Philipp Lahm. Wide to Müller. Two central defenders were up there, Tasca and Marza. Well, Ulreich wanted to play the ball to Saka, he wasn't looking. Luis Gustavo. The transfer window has now closed in Germany, as indeed it has in most European countries. Another week, I think, for Russian sides to sign somebody. But basically that's it. Until after Christmas. Here's the goal again. Harnik was onside when the cross came over. and that was not easy to take. The ball almost at thigh height when Harnik hit it. On camera on the referee's assistant, I think some of the Bayern fans might have thought Harnik was a touch offside. But to disallow a wonderful strike like that, you would have to be 110% certain as the referee's assistant. Schweinsteiger. As Boateng. Good interception by Sakai. It's Harnik, the goal scorer. Sakai, easy clearance for Dante. Last season, Bayern Munich finished runners-up in all three competitions. The biggest heartbreak of all was when they lost the final of the Champions League to Chelsea on this very ground. Before then, they'd seen Dortmund take the championship title for the second year. They'd been hammered in Berlin in the final of the German Cup, 5-2 by Dortmund. And then the final heartbreak, defeat by Chelsea. And this season, those in charge in Bayern have said, we must take the title. There's only two clubs done a hat-trick of championship titles. Bayern Munich, of course, and also Borussia Mönchengladbach. If Dortmund can emerge champions at the end of this season, they too will achieve the hat-trick. But Bayern will have a big say in where the title goes this season. Lahm, the captain. Badstuber. Schweinsteiger. Nice dummy to bamboozle Harnik, but nobody in the middle as Maza heads clear. Badstuber. Again, only Ibisevic in front of the two defensive rows for Stuttgart. The header for Mandzukic. Over half an hour gone. And a surprise scoreline. Bayern 0, Stuttgart 1. Bayern with the lion's share of territory and possession. So far, nothing to show for it. Ball still in play. Ribéry. Müller. Shot saved by Ulreich. That was good refereeing by Thorsten Kinhofer. We haven't seen it in slow motion, but Müller backs into the defender. And of course got bundled forwards. It wasn't a penalty. The referee quite correctly allowed play to continue. But Thorsten Kinhofer is one of the best. Müller, good save. Yeah, the equaliser. Has it been given? It has. A powerful shot from Thomas Müller. Sven Ulreich kept the ball out, but he couldn't stop it, bouncing straight back into the path of Thomas Müller. Bruno Labbadia not happy with his defence. Let's look at it again in slow motion. Müller completely unmarked. Powerful shot, you cannot fault Ulreich for that. Mandzukic into the middle, and look how much time Thomas Müller has to take that ball in the air. In slow motion, the goalkeeper always looks at fault. but that ball was travelling. Müller, Ulreich, 1-1. Thomas Müller, German international. 33 appearances as he scored again. My goodness, right down the other end. And Toni Kroos, 1 minute later, bashes the ball into the roof of the net. Stuttgart mesmerised. Bruno Labbadia can't believe it. And the question mark over Toni Kroos is, they say that he can't score goals. He nearly broke the net. Once again, from the edge of the area, Sven Ulreich gets his fingertips to it, but that was going like a missile. Great goal. 3 goals so far, 2 of them absolutely brilliant. The Bayern fans starting to breathe a little bit more easily. So what is Stuttgart made of? Conceding a brace in the space of 60 seconds. Can they come back? Stuttgart were champions in 2007, just 5 years ago. But after that success, just a little too much money was spent. And when Fredi Bobic took over as manager 2 years ago, one of his main tasks was to cut Stuttgart's costs. Sakai inside to Harnik. And off the ball, foul by Schweinsteiger. Good position for the visitors. Once again, well, a little harsh, I suppose. Harnik went for the foul, went for the free kick, and he got it. Thomas Heinl. Bayern players don't exactly look 10 yards from the ball, do they? Boca straight into the wall. That's no surprise. If referees are going to give free kicks on the edge of the penalty area, it makes a mockery of the game if they do not get the defensive wall, the statutory 9.5 metres back. Coming back to what I was telling you a moment ago about Stuttgart and finances, to cut their costs, they had to get rid of, for example, Khalid Boulahrouz, who was a firm fixture at right back. He didn't want to go, the Dutch international, but Stuttgart just could not afford his massive annual earnings. Del Piero went, Gebhardt, Schieber was sold to Dortmund for $5.5 million, and Stefano Chalozzi also left the club. So 5 regular members of the first team departing, and gaps like that are hard to fill. Bruno Labbadia has done a sterling job since joining Stuttgart as coach. December 2010. That's Sakai with the cross. Heinal. Booker. Big lob. That's difficult for any striker to take. Luis Gustavo's clearance caught by Tashka to Marza, back to Tashka. Just 7 minutes to go now to half-time, and it has been a thoroughly entertaining match so far. Gentner, I feel, might be departing at half-time. He was booked so early in the game for a foul on Philipp Lahm, and he really hasn't figured in midfield for Stuttgart. Badstuber. Good pressure from Stuttgart. Jupp Heynckes, 67 years of age now. Looks like this will be his final season for Bayern. There are conflicting reports. Will he stay on if asked? But the general consensus of opinion is that this will be the final season for the coach. Inside to Mandzukic. Ulreich off his... That's... Oh, now. That is interesting. Ulreich was off his line. I thought the goalkeeper should have stayed where he was. Mandzukic can't believe it. Let's look again. Oh dear, that is a push in the back. The referee got that one well wrong. There's a look of stunned surprise on the face of the Bayern number 9, Mario Mandzukic. And after seeing the slow motion, I can well understand why. Another goal for Bayern just before half-time. That would really have been a problem for Stuttgart. Mandzukic wide to Müller. Bayern, by the way, got a fairly decent draw when the groups for the Champions League were chosen on Thursday. Bayern are in with Valencia, their old foes. Remember in 2001 when Bayern won the Champions League, they beat Valencia. Penalty shootout it was. Also in with Bayern are Lille of France and Belarusian side Bate Borisov. Boca into the last 5 minutes of the first half. Foul by Schweinsteiger. Mathieu Boca, along with Thomas Heinl, the smallest player on the field. Ribéry. It's been just a little quiet this afternoon, the Frenchman, by his own immaculately high standards. Bundled over by William Kvist, the Danish international. Toni Kroos, he'll probably be looking for that far post. That's where Schweinsteiger steals round, and there is Schweinsteiger! Well, you'd have thought Stuttgart would have realised what the possibilities were. They nearly got caught with that. Inside 15 minutes. No sign, though, of the injury problems that Bastian Schweinsteiger has been suffering from. And indeed, Schweinsteiger is an integral part not only of the Bayern Munich side, but of course of the German national team. And it's felt that Joachim Löw really did Schweinsteiger no favours by picking him at the European Championships in Poland and the Ukraine when Schweinsteiger was quite clearly not fully fit. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Yet another world-class goal. I told you that Luis Gustavo was going to be having to play out of his skin because of the big spectre of Javier Martinez. Well, he is doing just that. A great shot in the first half, curled just outside the left-hand post of Sven Ulreich. That one went in like a bullet. What a goal. 4 goals and 3 of them out of this world. 3-1 it is. Stuttgart have conceded a third before half-time, and now they face a mountain to climb. The ball just swerving at the last minute. It was struck stupendously by Luis Gustavo, a full 30 metres. Sven Ulreich left clutching thin air. This game going very much the way the others have gone in recent times when Bayern host Stuttgart. Bayern have won their last 6 games against Stuttgart. 5 in the league and 1 in the cup. It's looking very much like it's going to be 7. Bayern developing into Stuttgart's bogey team. Fabulous save and a good clearance by Tascio. That was almost goal number 4. Bayern really turning the music up now. But there can't be any time. Well, there isn't, in fact. Thorsten Kinhöfer stopping me in mid-sentence by blowing the whistle. What a first half we've had. Martin Harnik putting Stuttgart in the lead, but 3 goals in 11 minutes from Müller, from Kroos and Luis Gustavo make it Bayern 3, Stuttgart 1. Can hardly wait for the second half.
Watch the start of the 2014 World Cup qualifying campaign for European countries this Saturday on Setanta Sports with 5 exclusive games. Moldova versus England, Croatia versus Macedonia, Latvia versus Greece, Bulgaria versus Italy, and Scotland versus Serbia. 2014 World Cup qualifiers this Saturday on Setanta Sports.
Kennedy's Whiskey, born out of passion and dedication in a rural village on the southwest coast of Ireland. This award-winning whiskey is matured in Irish and bourbon cask oak to deliver the fullest of flavours. This is no ordinary whiskey. This is Kennedy's.
Bayern Munich against Stuttgart, and it's looking dismal again for Stuttgart. A poor record they have here, and they're 3 goals to 1 down. Brilliant goals this afternoon. A real treat for the crowd. Bayern Munich, as all regular fans will know, playing in the red strip. Just 1 substitution so far. Stuttgart with striker Tunay Tarun on for Tamás Hajnal. For Bayern, well, we saw quite a few players warming up in the interval. Xherdan Shaqiri, youngster who was bought for big money from Basel, just under 12 million euros. And of course, we also saw Javier Martinez, But will he put in an appearance? I can well imagine that if we get to around 85 minutes and Bayern are clearly in the lead, then Jupp Heynckes, the Bayern coach, may well bring on his €40 million new signing. The previous highest signing in Germany was also made by Bayern Munich when they paid Stuttgart 35 million for Mario Gomez. But through basically 40 years plus of success and outstanding management, mainly with Uli Hoeneß at the helm, Bayern have built up. Well, that is poor defence, great opportunity, Müller, and this time, oh, it's in there, everybody stopped, and Mandzukic pushes the ball in the back of the net. The Stuttgart defence was paralysed. Müller's shot came off the goalkeeper, who cleverly ran off his line, but the ball then screwed away, and Stuttgart stood and watched. Let's check it out again. The mistake is by Gotuko Sakai. Müller. Maza just stands still almost, sticks out a leg. Not exactly impressive defending. And the game now has all but drifted away from Stuttgart. Well, that is the 5th goal this season in all competitions for the man who came from Wolfsburg, basically as a backup for Mario Gomez. Mario Mandzukic, 32 caps for Croatia and a €7 million buy from Wolfsburg. Stuttgart really need to get the act together. They are facing a debacle. Torun, no problem at all for the tall figure of Manuel Neuer. Ribéry against Maza. Look at the support, it's unbelievable. Great save, and again, was it offside? The flag has stayed down. Once again, 2 goals inside a minute, just like we had in the first half. Franck Ribéry. Look at the Bayern players queuing up on the right. Mandzukic. And it's Müller, in fact, who gets his head to it. Franck Ribéry, brilliant as he is, not exactly famous for a header, for his heading capabilities. Second goal of the afternoon for Thomas Müller. And still a youngster. Müller turns 23 next week. And already has chalked up 33 appearances for Germany and scored 10 goals for the national side. Little trip on Ribéry. Referee Kinhofer waiting to see if there was an advantage. Gentner has been virtually the invisible man this afternoon, shown the yellow card early on for a bad foul on Philipp Lahm. Since then, hasn't been in the game. 5 goals to 1. And we still have just under 40 minutes to play. Müller. Oh, can you believe it? Schweinsteiger. 6-1 on 51 minutes. Bayern Munich are performing open heart surgery on Stuttgart. Smiles all round. Schweinsteiger, he's delighted to be back. I know that the absence through injury and all the talk at the European Championships about whether he should have spoken up himself and said to his coach, I'm not fit to play. They're all weighed on Bastian Schweinsteiger. And this afternoon, he has shown that he is fit and he's really enjoying himself. Müller clips it over. Schweinsteiger finishes off 6-1. Quist calling possession. Stuttgart completely at 6s and 7s. Three goals inside 5 minutes. Boca to Tasja. Stuttgart do not know what has hit them. Obviously, the Bayern fans want more. They'd like to see double figures. Not good control from Philipp Lahm. Boca with the throw. Gentner. Munich. Quist. Gentner. Ibisevic. Good save by Manu Neuer. He's had very little to do. Kroos. Gaps all over. Schweinsteiger, acres of room. Finds Ribéry. Clips it over. In goes Müller. Harnik. Bayern once again in possession through Kroos. Flicked wide to Mario Mandzukic. Headed clear by Tasja, only as far as Philipp Lahm. Sprints to keep the ball in play, even though Bayern are 6-1 up. That's what the crowd want to see. And reward with tremendous applause. They often say it's never exciting enough here in Bayern that the spectators don't get behind the side like they do, for example, in Dortmund. But my goodness, it is party time now here in the Allianz Arena in Munich. Interception by Boca. And once again by Boateng. Mandzukic operating wide on the right. Kroos, what a goal it was that he scored. The Stuttgart fans glum and silent. Well, I reckon that with 5 minutes to go, if Bayern had the game safely in their pockets, that we might see Javi Martinez. Well, 6-1, 56 minutes played. I think Jupp Heynckes can afford to bring him on without having to have any worries. Martinez, the result of some very tough negotiating. In the end, Athletic Bilbao didn't even appear at the signing of the contract. Martinez had a clause in his contract with Bilbao that said that he could go if anybody put down 40 million. And Bilbao suddenly stopped negotiating with Bayern. They said we want 40 million, but then didn't even enter into any further negotiations. Burkhardt with the cross, no problem for Neuer. But because of the clause in Martinez's contract, the get-out clause for 40 million, all Bayern had to do was to get in touch with the Spanish FA. And they said, well, it's perfectly legal now. You fork out the 40 million, and there's nothing that Bilbao can do. And it seems that when the final contracts were signed, Bilbao weren't even present. The question is Martinez going to be worth it? Can't make a regular place in the Spanish national side in central defence because of Piqué and Ramos. Nor can he get a spot in front of the back four because of Busquets. The Bayern fans desperate for their side to keep pushing forward. There's no Bundesliga next weekend, by the way, so don't seem surprised if your station isn't showing any. It's one of those international periods decreed by FIFA so early in the season. Virtually every Bundesliga club is against it. They say, well, look, we've just played 2 games of the new season and we've got to tolerate a break. Franck Ribéry, Mandzukic. And of course, it's not just the break in the league programme that sort of interrupts clubs' flows that's the problem. The Bundesliga is an international stomping ground, and players like the 2 Japanese for Stuttgart will be flying for 15 hours somewhere. Long flights, jet lag, and of course the possibility of injury. All these factors contribute to the negative attitude taken towards this international break so early in the season. Waves of La Ola now rippling round the stadium, and we've only played an hour. Stuttgart now can only have one thing in mind, and that is saving face. Here goes Thomas Müller looking for his hat-trick. Well, he was being very, very altruistic, looking for Franck Ribéry, but this time Sakai, who really started the avalanche of 3 goals in the second half for Bayern with his mistake. Sakai really alert to the threat that time. Corner kick. Up trots Jerome Boateng, the tall central defender, hoping to get in on the goal-scoring action. But it's back to Dante. To Lahm as Boateng trots back to his defensive position. Lahm has Muller in support. That one was well read by Kvist. Oh, that's a poor pass back from Torun. Ibisevic doing well to regain possession, but a loose pass. Stuttgart so totally out of sorts now, 6-1 down. Two defeats in a row. Remember, Wolfsburg won by 1-0 in the Mercedes-Benz Arena last week. Ball's out of play. I mentioned towards the end of the first half that Bayern have a none too difficult group in the Champions League with Valencia, Lille and Bata Borisov. Stuttgart, because they finished 6th last season, have made it through to the group stage of the Europa League. So we have 71,000 fans. Last season, the Allianz Arena was sold out for every single league game. And it's a full house once again. But coming back to the Europa League, Stuttgart are in with Copenhagen, Steaua of Bucharest and Molde of Norway. Molde finishing champions last season, coached by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, former stalwart of Manchester United and a player well known to Bayern Munich. 1999 it was, the Champions League final that Solskjaer brought Bayern's dreams crashing down. Solskjaer brought on so often a substitute by Manchester United, now in charge at the Europa League opponents Molde. It's Kvist back to Bokar. Torun. Good tackle by Schweinsteiger. He has impressed on his return to the first team, spraying that one a little too vigorously to the left for Franck Ribéry. Schweinsteiger needs much practice. The question for Jupp Heynckes is, do I take Schweinsteiger off? He's having a good game. Or do I take Luis Gustavo off? I think Schweinsteiger would prefer to stay on the park, provided he feels fit enough. He's covered a lot of ground so far. Or does Heynckes say, well, Luis Gustavo's position is the one under threat from Martinez? And he's played well this afternoon. What a goal that was. Fabulous to make it 3-1 for Bayern. Kvist. Torun. Luis Gustavo. Ribéry. What an outstanding player the Frenchman is. Well, let's hope Bayern don't lapse into the old problem of just retaining possession, pushing the ball around. It's that takes a lot of the passion out of the fans. They want to see Bayern going forward, very much as the Dortmund fans are used to seeing their side. Well, it's Claudio Pizarro who's going to put in an appearance. He will be taken off. Mandzukic, perhaps. And also, Mamadou Ba was on the touchline for Stuttgart. Defensive midfielder, maybe. He'll replace Gentner. But there's a couple of Stuttgart players could easily be replaced this afternoon. Schweinsteiger. Mandzukic has appeared on both flanks, even though he's a striker. Very mobile centre forward, Mario Mandzukic. Schweinsteiger. Lahm. Müller. Oh, that's a dreadful pass of Mandzukic, straight to Ibisevic. It's Harnik. Neatly cut out by Philipp Lahm. As we move into the final quarter of the match, a couple of substitutions. Shinji Okazaki makes his way to the touchline to be replaced by Mamadou Ba. Here comes Ba. It is Mandzukic, replaced by Claudio Pizarro. And his second spell with Bayern Munich, massively popular. Werder Bremen did not want to lose the services of Claudio Pizarro, who scored more goals than any other non-German player in the Bundesliga. Pizarro, a great favourite of the fans when he was here before. He was in Munich from 2001 to 2007. Left for Chelsea, and after leaving Chelsea, signed for Bremen. This is Claudio Pizarro's 334th Bundesliga appearance. No other foreign player has chalked up as many as Claudio Pizarro. Peruvian international, 63 caps to his name, but in the twilight of his career, turns 34 next month. It's quite old for a striker these days. The fans getting impatient. Bayern haven't scored for 20 minutes. The young man we just saw warming up on the touchline, that's Xherdan Shaqiri. An ethnic Kosovar, but plays international soccer for Switzerland, where he grew up. Kastja. Kvist. Was not impressive from Manu Neuer. I don't know what he's complaining about. He took the decision to come off his line. When you do that, you've got to get both hands on it and hold it. Yes, Emmanuel, that was your mistake, my friend. Wasn't impeded. Well, Neuer, of course, thinking of his role in the German national side. That was a perfectly valid challenge from Vida Ibisevic. Up he goes for the ball. Neuer's mistake. But Germany has got some absolutely magnificent goalkeepers. And if you make one or two mistakes, then there's some other goalkeeper easily waiting to take your place. One Robert Seeler of Hanover. Tim Wiese has been sidelined by Joachim Löw, but some fabulous keepers in Germany. Ter Stegen of Mönchengladbach, Oliver Baumann of Freiburg, Roman Weidenfeller of the champions Dortmund. You could go on and on. Fouled by Maza. Von Lieberle has earned his pay this afternoon. Given a rest, replaced by the powerful figure of Xherdan Shaqiri. Wearing number 11, Shaqiri, 18 appearances already for the Swiss national side. Turns 21 rather, next month. Dante's solid at the back for Bayern. For once a loose pass from Lahm. He's had an excellent afternoon. Oh dear, oh dear. That is silly from Ibisevic. And Ibisevic sent off. Oh, that is ridiculous. What he did was stupid, but a yellow card would have been perfectly adequate. Yellow for Boateng. That was a storm in a teacup. Well, last week Ibisevic missed an absolute sitter. The rebound from the penalty, saved by goalkeeper Benaglio for Wolfsburg. Had he scored, it would have put Stuttgart 1-0 up. There's the mid-air clash. Up they get. Just a little shrug with the elbow, with the shoulder, rather, and Ibisevic sent off. A yellow card would have been sufficient, I feel. So, Stuttgart down 2. 10 men, 6-1 behind. No goals for Bayern though for 25 minutes. There is, of course, one possibility left now for the Bayern coach to bring on Javier Martinez. 2 substitutions are already on the park, Shaqiri and Pizarro. 1 substitution remains. Gentner. So this will be the 7th game in a row that Stuttgart have failed to beat Bayern. 6 defeats in the league, 1 in the cup. And for Bayern, it's now going back to last season. It's 11 home league games without defeat, 10 wins, 1 draw. And with 6 goals to their credit, 3 last week, away to last season's second division champions Fürth, it means that Bayern have 9 goals and they will sit proudly on top of the Bundesliga. Only 2 games played, but Bayern already laid down their marker. And Schweinsteiger's going to be given a rest. And here he comes, the 40 million euro man, Javier Martinez. Just listen to the reception from the Bayern crowd, the cheers for a wonderful performance by Schweinsteiger, and the warmest of welcomes for Javier Martinez. Only signed on the 29th of August, little time to get to know his teammates. But what better time to be brought on a substitute. 3 points in the pocket. The opposition demoralised and reduced to 10 men. An ideal time to come on the park. You really can't put a foot wrong, can you? The first touch for Martinez. Nothing seen so far of Claudio Pizarro. Gentner's had a woeful afternoon, but it wasn't a good pass. Boca gives Muller a look. He really went in for that challenge. Did the man from the Ivory Coast. Stuttgart now focused solely on not conceding another goal. But I must say, we have once again seen a Bayern side in full flow that takes its foot off the gas. It might seem a little cynical to say that when they've scored 6 goals, but those 3 goals at the start of the second half came just in one 5-minute burst. Since then, Bayern really have just pushed the ball around against opposition that have basically thrown in the towel. Martinez to Lahm. Some of the Bayern players will be in action for Germany this coming Friday when Germany take on the Faroe Islands in the first of their World Cup qualifiers. That match to be played in Hanover. And Philipp Lahm will captain the German team. We're in now the final 10 minutes. Martinez looking for Shaqiri. Bocca in with a good tackle. He's had a real battle with Thomas Müller on the Stuttgart left flank. That's Bar. Ball out of play, throw to Bayern. Shaqiri. Oh. Bachtuba. Isn't that fast? Bar to Kust. Well, that's a woeful clearance. Kroos become a bit submerged over the last 20 minutes or so. Toni Kroos, good first half, fantastic goal, but like Bayern, really just content to stroll around. This is Shaqiri. The stadium has gone quiet. One or two whistles, the home fans, as I intimated, not happy with Bayern's rather lackadaisical approach now. Stuttgart very much on the ropes for all of the second half. Lahm doing excellently before being bundled over by Torun. He's had a good game, the German captain. 6-1 up and still gives absolutely everything. What an example to the rest of the side. 6 minutes to go. Kroos with the free kick for Bayern. Gustavo. Bocca. Down the line to Hane. Good ball inside. Torun has to come back and Bayern fall back in defence. Kvist. Torun. Great leap by Boateng. Mamadou Ba. Into the final 5 minutes. The player down is Luis Gustavo. He has impressed this afternoon. Twisting his foot slightly as he tried to control the ball. Martinez. Little or no movement from Bayern. I think they reckon they'd done enough work on 50 minutes. Pizarro. Offside. Easy decision for the referee's assistant. I think Bruno Labbadia, the Stuttgart coach, will be rather glad that his side aren't in action for 2 weeks. It will give him a little bit of time maybe to patch things up. There's a lot of work needs to be done. It was a brilliant goal by Martin Harnik that gave Stuttgart the lead, but 2 goals in the space of a minute from Müller and Kroos. Put Bayern in the lead, and ever since then they've been firmly in the driving seat. Goal scorer Martin Harnik, who also hit the crossbar. Stuttgart could have been 2-0 up. Great run from Harnik, left foot shot against the crossbar, and then volleying home a free kick on 25 minutes to put Stuttgart in the lead. But since then it has been a tale of woe and misery. Less than 3 to go. The big question is, we've had 5 substitutions. Will our 4th official, Mr. René Kunsleben, take pity on Stuttgart? They're now down to 9 men. But there is a possibility of bringing on another sub. Will he take pity on them and blow or not add any time on for stoppages? Allow the referee to blow after 90 minutes. Shaqiri just steps round Sakai, the ball running over the touchline. I can well imagine that Thorsten Kinhofer, who's handled the game very professionally this afternoon, I still think the red card for Ibisevic, despite his silliness, was not really necessary. That yellow would have been sufficient. But Ibisevic did shoulder charge Boateng off the ball, and theoretically that's a red card. Off comes Harnik. Well, he's off already, limping along the touchline. And the final substitution sees Ibrahima Traoré come on. That's the goal that gave Stuttgart the lead on 25 minutes. Ibrahima Traoré wearing 16. The second Guinea international, brought on Mamadou Ba, wearing 13, has played 25 times. For Guinea, Ibrahima Traoré, just 15 times. A minute to go. Can Bayern make it 7? They've not really tried very hard since the 50th minute. Basically, since then, Bayern have just pushed the ball around with little resistance from Stuttgart. Philipp Lahm can't keep the ball in play. It's a corner for Bayern. Maybe the last bit of action this afternoon. But Bayern, it can safely be said, to win this one, have only had to play for 20 minutes. Shaqiri with the corner. It was 32 minutes played when Müller grabbed the equaliser, and just over 50 minutes when Schweinsteiger headed home goal number 6. I'll make that. But there we are, 32 minutes to 51. Wasn't even 20 minutes, was it? Müller, Kroos and Gustavo in the first half, and then the blitz in the second half. Mandzukic, Müller and Schweinsteiger. 20 minutes of blistering football either side of half-time from Germany's record champions. Enough to sink Stuttgart without trace. Bayern.
2013 is a very special year. It is the year of the gathering, when Ireland invites the world to celebrate our music, food, culture, fun, sport and lots more. To find out about the gathering and how to be part of it, visit thegatheringireland.com.
Up next, everyone's favorite segment. This season's top 10 goals. Buckle up, sit back, and enjoy two handfuls of amazing goals.
Shinji Kagawa of Dortmund volleyed in this rocket against Cologne on match day 27.
Bayern's Arjen Robben lobbed the Hamburg keeper in majestic fashion on match day 3.
Klaas-Jan Huntelaar backheeled one in for Schalke against Augsburg on match day 15.
Didier Yakonan of Hanover scored with a sideways scissors kick against Bayern Munich on match day 27.
Mönchengladbach's Juan Arango converted a direct free kick against Cologne on match day 31.
Jakub Błaszczykowski netted this beauty for Dortmund against Mainz on match day 24.
Jan Schlaudraff of Hanover hammered home a sensational volley against Hamburg on match day 14.
Bayern's Thomas Müller found the net with this masterstroke against Cologne on match day 34.
Raúl dazzled the fans with this effort for Schalke against Hanover on match day 29.
Dadiok of Leverkusen connected with this bicycle kick against Wolfsburg on match day 8.
Watch the start of the 2014 World Cup qualifying campaign for European countries this Saturday on Setanta Sports with 5 exclusive games. Moldova versus England, Croatia versus Macedonia, Latvia versus Greece, Bulgaria versus Italy, and Scotland versus Serbia. 2014 World Cup qualifiers this Saturday on Setanta Sports. Experience the flair and the passion of South American football on Setanta Sports with live and exclusive coverage of the Argentine Primera Division. Watch 2 exciting and unpredictable matches from every round, featuring some of South America's footballing champions, including Boca Juniors. Plus, follow the season-long Apertura and Clausura tournaments. The Argentine Primera Division, live and exclusive on Setanta Sports.
'13 is a very special year. It is the year of the gathering, when Ireland invites the world to celebrate our music, food, culture, fun, sport and lots more. To find out about the gathering and how to be part of it, visit thegatheringireland.com.
Watch the start of the 2014 South American World Cup qualifying campaign this Saturday on Setanta Sports with 3 exclusive games: Ecuador versus Bolivia, Peru versus Venezuela, and Colombia versus Uruguay. 2014 World Cup qualifiers this Saturday on Setanta Sports.
Kennedy's Whiskey, born out of passion and dedication in a rural village on the southwest coast of Ireland. This award-winning whiskey is matured in Irish and bourbon cask oak to deliver the fullest of flavours. This is no ordinary whiskey. This is Kennedy's.